All right, what's going on, everybody? This is the Pressplaypodcast. I'm your host, Drew Hedinger, here along with my co-host, Troy Mudd.
Hey guys.
All right, today we're going to be doing a episode. It's kind of going to be a more fun episode. We're going to do some gaming character battles, some verses, see who would win in those fights. But we're also going to discuss a question, and that question is, why are video gamers still discriminated against as being lazy or slackers? But before that, I want to talk about Buzzsprout real quick. And essentially what Buzzsprout is it's a podcasting network that helps you get connected with all of the other like podcasting networks. So it helps you get connected with Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, etc. Following the link in the show's notes lets Buzzsprout know we sent you, get you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan and help support our show. We use Buzzsprout and we love it. Like I said, it makes everything super easy and it's really easy to use. Start with some gear that you already have in a quiet space. If you want to upgrade, Buzzsprout has tons of guides to help you find the right equipment at the right price. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. You'll get a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, tools to promote your episodes, and more. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners. The team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world today. All right. So without further ado, we are going to get into the topic of today. Why are video gamers still discriminated against as being lazy or slackers? And who would you like to start this one off, me or you?
I can start it off.
Okay.
I'm sure we kind of see eye to eye with it a lot. One of the main issues I think is just kind of like it's a lot of like the older generation to the newer generation, and it's not just about video games. It's pretty much about the rules in sports. Like politics. Both generations kind of have their newer views. I think in terms of video games, though, like the older generation typically saw it as entertainment, which for the most part it is entertainment. However, you got to remember that nowadays there's things like YouTube, esports, where you can actually sit at home, and if you're good enough at a game, you can play it as a career. And you can make pretty good money not ever having to even go to college. Technically, not even having to graduate high school, you can make six figures. And I think it's just one of those things that it's very just kind of too good to be true kind of thing. But I think it's just kind of harder for the older generation to like kind of understand that people can make money off of something they're good at, even if it's something like video games.
There's that for sure, which, we're in lockstep, of course. But I also, I'm trying to think how to word this. I think there's like just this stigma that if you play games, like kind of in the question, that you're just this lazy, fat, just no good person. And I'm kind of overweight. I'm losing weight. I'm working on it. But there's plenty of fit people that are in immaculate shape that play video games. So I don't get why that's the stigma anymore. Take, for instance, we got a buddy by the name of Cougar. Shout out to Cougar. He's like a miniature bodybuilder almost. That dude is jacked beyond belief.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
So just because you play games, I don't know why you're considered lazy. People watch movies. People watch TV series on Netflix. People do all these things. They play board games, read books. And I don't see how gaming is any different than any of those other ones. Granted, books, if you read the right books, you can get more knowledgeable, but you can also get more knowledgeable on playing certain games. For instance, from the older Assassin's Creed games, I've learned a lot about history just from them alone.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't understand why not even the older generation, but just certain people are just against gaming in some form or facet just because of the things people say. But that's how it goes with almost everything. People can attach something negative, a stereotype to anything. And as long as the opinion gets out there and more people hear it and agree with it, it'll take over. It doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Oh yeah, well, like you also have to remember, like in the early 2000s, like one of the stereotypes for punk rock, like things that like people viewed as like like these people won't ever grow up to do anything was playing video games. And there's a lot of comedy movies. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think maybe Jack Black was in one of them. It's some kind of bigger dude sitting on a couch with like a bowl of chips or something next to him, just playing video games. And I think that stereotype was just kind of like supposed to be portrayed as like funny rather than something people could actually do to be productive. Because it was associated with you need to get up and get a job instead of playing like Diary of Wimpy Kid. Like he took his entire like console away and told him to go outside and go get a job. I think it just they kind of attach, and it kind of seems that video games aren't productive. Which, in my opinion, as long as it's not an addiction where like you need to be at home playing all day every day, there's no harm in playing games. As long as you like, if you have a job, who cares if you go home and play video games at night?
Exactly. As long as you get your stuff done.
Yeah, you're still working, being productive. You're not doing any harm. It's not really negative to me as long as you're doing all that.
No, I don't want to throw my dad under the bus, but I'm going to. So he's gotten way better about it. He really has. But it was back a couple years ago. I have a job. I'm going to college. I'm probably going to, I think I'm going to take a break from college after I finish my 2-year degree, but that's not because I'm being lazy. That's just because I'm trying to figure out some things in my life. But he would still get on to me about playing games even after I would go to work. And like I had school going on. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that to somebody. If they're getting their stuff done and taking care of themselves and bettering themselves and getting what they need to get done on their daily basis, why is it any harm to anybody to play some games? Like, I don't see that. Like, and that's not only like my father's thought. Like that's in the minds of so many people. And I just have always wondered like where that comes from. And I guess it's just a generational thing, like you said.
Yeah, well, I think that, and maybe also the way someone was brought up, which I don't know how your dad was brought up, but like, say someone grew up and their family didn't have a lot of money. So, they worked all the time so that they could have money and enjoy nice things. So I think maybe some of the time it can be influenced by just they want to see you not struggle with what they've had to deal with. Now, sometimes it can absolutely just be like they're just doing that just to be mean. But like I feel like some parents actually like do it so like you don't have to struggle financially when they were your age. So I think
definitely.
So I think some of it's good. I want to say more often than not though, a lot of it's kind of bad because people go into their kids' room and just yell at them for just hanging out playing Xbox or PlayStation or whatever.
Exactly.
To me, that's not right. Because, I've never seen someone yell at someone for sitting there watching a movie all the time, like you were saying. So, yeah.
I lost my train of thought. I had something I was going to go off of from that, and I lost my train of thought.
Was it something about financially?
No, it was just adding on to what you were saying about the way people were brought up, I think, but of course it's gone, so.
Oh, well, lost it.
Yep. Okay, so I think we've pretty much got that question done. At least about as good as we can. Otherwise, we're just going to keep repeating, what we said.
Yeah, which we can also ask some of the other people maybe next time whenever they come back. But that's really up to them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And so this podcast probably isn't going to be super long. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not going to be or going to be. I don't know how long these fights are going to take us to these battles, quote unquote, are going to take us to describe, but we shall see. So yeah, starting it off, we have Nathan Drake versus Lara Croft. And I don't know about you, but I personally think Lara Croft is probably the most badass woman in video gaming currently.
Yeah.
So
I can't think of another one.
I'm going with Lara Croft on this one. I don't know if she has like more experience per se than Nathan Drake in the aspect of like maybe fighting. I don't know their stories like wholeheartedly and completely. I've played like almost every game that they're in, but It's been a little while. But just from playing the Lara Croft games, especially the Tomb Raider games, the newer ones, she can beat some people up, and she
Yeah.
has no problem taking trained militarized men down. So I don't know. While Nathan Drake is really good at what he does, and he kind of grew up like being like a nomad and an outcast, and he had to fight for everything. But I would still take Lara Croft just based off the fact. I don't know if maybe because they made the games more violent, so I just think she's more brutal. But if I had to pick, I would take Lara Croft.
Yeah, I think I would take Nathan Drake just because I haven't played many of the Tomb Raiders. I do know what they're about. Um, I picked Nathan Drake just for the fact that Lara Croft typically has been caves and like ancient ruins, I'm pretty sure. But Nathan Drake has done like basically parkour on top of planes and caves through cities. I mean, he's fought anything from like Caribbean pirates to I'm pretty sure military or at least like hired mercenaries pretty much. I think Lara Croft might have him beat hand to hand, but in terms of like actually being able to maneuver like any kind of obstacle, I think he probably would out because it's not like she has an advantage in a cave because they both are in caves a lot of the time, not all the time.
Yeah,
She's in caves more,
it
but
just depends on the situation, to be completely honest, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I'd say probably they're pretty evenly matched.
For sure. And, not to be like political or anything, but just the fact that Nathan Drake is a boy obviously gives him an advantage. So saying Lara Croft could win or even tie, like that shows just how
Oh yeah,
skilled she is. So, all right, that one was pretty fun. Now we have Jack and Daxter, which I've never played those games, versus Ratchet and Clank. And just going off the fact that I've played all the Ratchet and Clank games, I mean, this is kind of hypocritical, I guess, for me to answer something and not like play the other thing. But I don't see how Ratchet and Clank could get beat by them because they're like just an inseparable duo and they work so well together. They're basically Mario and Luigi. They just are just neck and neck, and they have each other's back. And the other one can always do exactly how do I describe this? They can always help each other in the exact instances that they need. So, like, say Ratchet is like he's like he needs to get to this place that's far away. Well, Clank, he's a robot, so he can have like a little fan that makes Ratchet able to like get over to where he needs to go. Stuff like that. Like they're just basically one entity, even though they're two.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Which I just kind of tried to look up Jack and Dax's kind of move list. It seems though like, for instance, I played Ratchet and Clank Tools in Time, or Tools of Destruction. And I mean they have every game. They have so many different weapons to choose from. I don't think Jax and Dax have that kind of technology.
Mm-mm.
So like I'm pretty sure Ratchet and Clank would win just because I mean for my instance I know they have a lava gun. I know they have a tornado gun.
Yes.
They have I think in Tools of Destruction they had like 12 different weapons alone. And they have I forget how many games. So I'm pretty sure they would win.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
I'm gonna mark that one down though. It's like I've never played Jack and Dax. So I can't really give an honest opinion, but I'm fairly certain I'd probably say Ratchet and Clank.
Where I got the thing from, the question or the battle idea from, they said Ratchet and Clank would easily win. So,
oh, okay.
So yeah. Now we have one that I feel like isn't even close, but it might be biased. Goku versus Liu Kang. Now, in my opinion, I don't even think we have to discuss this. Goku can.
Well, yeah, Goku's just.
He can Super Instinct. Yeah. He can Super Saiyan. Do we need to go on? I don't think so.
He takes punches from literal like gods.
Yeah.
And Liu Kang's not a god, so
no.
Yeah, I think Goku would win that pretty hands down. I like Liu Kang. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, he's one of my favorites. But
if we're talking about fighting, Goku's gonna win.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Now we have Snake versus Agent 47, and I really like this one. And I honestly am kind of at a loss. I don't know who I'd pick. I really don't.
I would go Agent 47. I love Snake. I love all the Metal Gear Solid games. My only issue is that Snake is trained, and he's very good at fighting like a large variety of things. But Agent 47 is a literal killing machine.
Yeah, he was bred into that.
Yeah, and he was literally trained. And just from watching a clip from the Agent 47 movie, he had gone into a base, intentionally gotten captured, had all his weapons taken away, and managed to hit a table to set off a sniper rifle to free himself from handcuffs. And then he intentionally did all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, it would be an insanely good fight, but I think Agent 47 would just win because that's pretty much all he knows is how to fight and kill. Where I think Agent 47 Snake kind of has a little bit of heart left, because in the series he has cared for people. Agent 47, I don't think has really ever cared for anybody.
So, no, in the movie I forget her name. He had this one woman he kind of cared for to a certain extent, but even really then not a whole lot. So no, he is definitely now that I've heard you kind of go into more detail, I would definitely say probably 47 as well.
I mean, Snake's insanely durable. I mean, in 5, he literally had shrapnel to the brain.
But probably should have went with Sam Fisher versus Snake instead of Agent 47.
Yeah, but next time. If you guys like this, we might make this a weekly thing. So.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this.
I think it's fun.
It is. And I'd be curious to hear what Drayton and Tevis would have to say as well. All right, I think this one will probably take a while. This is going to be my favorite one. Dante from Devil May Cry versus Kratos. These are two of my favorite. These are some of my favorite characters in.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I recently played some of the Devil May Cries. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, it kind of reminds me of like Ninja Gaiden. To be honest, like Ryu Hayabusa kind of reminds me of Dante from Devil May Cry, probably more so than anybody. But just from having played both games, which I haven't fully played every Devil May Cry game, I have played every God of War game fully, besides the second one. Excuse me. I'm wanting to say Kratos, but I'm really not sure because they both are like demigods and they both have killed like other like demonic gods of some sort. And they are essentially both kind of like the one and the same. It's just it just is like honestly who has the better weapon selection, and I think I would go with Kratos, not because he has more, but because he has better. Because you think from God of War 3, he took Hermes' legs off, literally cut his legs off.
His Hermes boots.
He has
the
Hercules gloves. Yeah, he has Leonidas's wings, I think, and he has obviously the chains of Sparta, and then the newer God of War, he has the axe of, I don't remember what it's called, but if toe to toe, it's so difficult because they're both such skilled fighters. But
absolutely,
and I'm pretty sure Dante can't really be killed, but I don't know how you would kill Kratos either. Because
they stripped away his godlike, right? Like they took away him being a god, so he's just like a mortal man, isn't he? Because I think he can die. No, Kratos. I thought Zeus took it away from him.
Did he do? Is it?
I thought he did, but he killed Zeus, so he may have gotten it back.
Yeah, I would assume. But I'm saying this one's a tie because I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The whole argument would be Dante fights demons and like lords of the underworld, but Kratos has literally fought. Yeah, he fought gods, titans. He fought the god of the underworld, Hades. He fought the demons in hell. So, like, they pretty much do the same thing.
Exactly. And Dante's father, I believe, either he was Sparta. What was his dad's name? Sparta? I forget what his name was. But his dad, I'm pretty sure, killed like the darkest demon or whatever in that universe. Like, so they're both bred to do the same thing, like you were saying. So, like, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta go with
I mean,
Ty. I can't.
Probably I've never played Devil May Cry games, but I'm assuming he has weapons from the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So like pretty much like they're gonna each have their own weapons with their own cons, but like
Yeah.
I mean, each one I'm sure has a counter to the other.
Yes,
So
they're
yeah,
very similar.
I mean, it
It's
may
like
end
Hulk
up in a
versus
tie.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
That's like essentially what it is.
I mean, they may end up not doing anything, or they may end up killing both of each other. But I mean, it's either that's probably what's going to take.
That would be my favorite fight to see out of all these, for sure.
That would be a very good fight. What did the website say? Who won? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not know off the top of my head. I think you could go ahead and discuss Ezio versus Altair, and I will look.
Ezio and Altair. Which one are those from again?
Assassin's Creed.
No, I knew that one, but which games? Ezio was the early.
There's the Ezio collection, yes. No, Altair, I believe, was the first one, and then Ezio was like Revelations and Brotherhood.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I'd go with Altair, but they're both the same thing. But you can go ahead and you can dive into this while I.
Well, since Altair was the early ones. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say you said Ezio was Brotherhood, correct?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Ezio. It's been a while since I played him, so that's why I forgot who was where. But I would say that one. I'd say Ezio, mainly because in Revelations and Brotherhood, they really kind of strengthen the assassin bond. They have a lot more in their group. In terms of a one-on-one fight, I mean, they fight pretty much the same way. I mean, the Assassin's Creed, they were all trained. So I mean, I don't know. It'd be like one of those movie fights.
Be right back.
Okay. It'd be like one of those movie fights where pretty much it would just be like a really cool fight scene that I don't know if either one would really come out on top without severe injuries. Altair is probably going to have outdated weapons compared to what Assassin's Creed's going to have. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to have to go with Ezio.
All right. Sorry about that. Nature called.
Oh, you're all good. I said Ezio.
Yeah, I'd like Altair, but
I said Ezio because Altair would have outdated weapons.
Yeah, and that does make sense. I don't if they both had the same equipment, I would maybe it's biased because I just like Altair so much. But
well, I also said that it might end up just being like a draw, where I said one of them probably wouldn't get out without severe injuries anyways if they killed the other one. So
it just depends on the situation because Altair has the wingsuit and Ezio doesn't.
Yeah. I said that one would probably also be a tie.
Yeah. I just tried to come up and find like ones that would be a good fight. I don't want like Mario versus Halloween from like Skyrim. Like I mean, we could do something like that if like people really
it'd be fun
want
to
us
argue. It'd be fun to argue.
It would be fun
because Mario has a bunch of powers.
True, that's very true. But I mean, I don't know. I just kind of find that a little silly.
Well, yeah, but you gotta hope that if we did a random one, you just have to hope like those don't get matched up. Which, granted, some of those will, but like you could also get like Charizard versus that dragon. So like,
true,
something fun like that could come out of it. But what's next?
What is next? I had this little fun one. I put Mario versus Sonic. And I don't even think it'd be close. I think Mario would probably destroy Sonic. But it kind of depends on the situation. Because
whose world are we fighting in? Mario or Sonic's world?
I mean, I feel like if we fought in Sonic's world, Sonic would probably have in whose ever world it will probably win. Because if you're in Sonic's world, then Mario's not going to have his mushrooms or his fire flower. He's not going to have any of that. Or his
That's
star.
fair.
So I would give it to. I honestly, yeah, it's just who's in the other person's world. But if they're both on like a neutral playing field, and it honestly just depends, because if Mario has like the mushroom or star or anything like that, he would win easily. But if he doesn't, and they're just hand to hand, then honestly, I think Sonic would probably win.
I would say that, except for the fact that I would like to assume, say we're on a neutral battlefield in neither world, you'd have to have two things here. Mario would have to be able to have his power-ups like on him, like at least one of each, or at least like one of his top three.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonic would have to have a place that's flat, because he's so quick that you can't really have a place that's like, I mean, curvy, I guess, but when he ran uphill, he'd slow down in the game. So I would go on an assumption that if Mario could use his power-ups, Mario would win hands down, because he has ice, he has fire, he can fly.
Yeah.
But if it's like Drew was saying, if it's in either of their worlds, I mean, whoever's world you're in, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
There's no power-up blocks in Sonic, so
no. So he would be screwed.
Yeah.
And I only got one more. It's Joel from The Last of Us versus Nathan Drake. I know we already covered Nathan Drake, but I couldn't really think who else to pair Joel against. So it depends. If we're talking about, Joel in his prime in the first Last of Us, which in my opinion is the only Last of Us, because I refuse to believe the second one even exists. If it's like during like when he like found Ellie, and he's been in that state of the world for however many years. I think it was like 7 or 10. It was around 10 years, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even a little longer. It was around 10 years that he was in the apocalyptic world, and he had been learning to survive. I don't know, honestly. I think it would be. I want to say Joel. My heart is telling me Joel, so I'm going to go with Joel. Because Nathan Drake, while he is a good fighter and he has taken down like the militant ops, Joel has done the same thing when he was trying to save his daughter's life. And he has to deal with zombies and supernatural creatures, which Nathan Drake doesn't know anything about any of that. And Nathan Drake, while he grew up poor and struggled very mightily in some cases, he's never had to go through the struggle that Joel had to go through, especially the mental struggles. And with all that being said, if they both have like their loadouts of like choice and stuff, I'm going to go with Joel. Unless they're doing like a parkourish thing, then I'll go with Nathan. But if it's strictly hand to hand, I'm fighting you, you're fighting me, mano a mano, Joel.
I was thinking Nathan Drake, and then I leaned to Joel. But my thing is, Joel could fight Nathan Drake one-on-one, hand-to-hand, no guns. Mm-hmm. But say a horde of zombies came, Nathan Drake, I think, would have an easier time getting out of there.
Yes.
And Joel would have to actually grab Ellie and run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was like on a rooftop, Joel versus Nathan Drake, I'd say probably Joel, because like you said, he's fought off the military and the undead.
Mm-hmm.
And plus like just looters. I would say maybe it'd be close, but I think Joel would actually probably, because I think Joel's a bit bigger than Nathan Drake.
Look it up.
He looks at least a bit
bulkier. He's definitely bulkier.
So I would say probably Joel. If it was with no zombies around, Joel. With zombies around, I'd say Nathan could escape a bit easier.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Oh, shoot. It says that Joel's only 5'10" to 5'11". I never knew that.
I meant weight size.
No, well, obviously, but I'm just stating that. Nathan, I'm going to look and see how tall Nathan Drake is. Yeah, Nathan Drake's 5'11", 170. Yeah, Joel's whipping his ass, dude. It's not even close.
Yeah, but you gotta remember Nathan Drake throws himself up obstacles, so of course he's probably gonna be a bit slimmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a fight, I would say,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot closer before I started to really go into it, and now that we've gone into it, I don't think it's really that close at all,
No,
depending on the circumstance. Um,
not at all.
I'm glad I made that one because that was pretty fun. Um, let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find any other ones. Here's a good one. Streaming will replace consoles, yes or no? Here's a good one. I think it definitely will in the future, as much as it pains me to say. Um,
Computers,
streaming will
streaming will
replace
replace consoles.
consoles. Yeah, like streaming, you basically just plug in or you just have a controller and it's like hooked up to a TV. It's
Oh,
basically something like that. Yeah, it'll definitely in the future when the internet becomes better and it's like you're not even downloading or not even streaming when it becomes to that quality, then yes, I think it will. But until then, I'm always going to prefer to play a game I've downloaded because that's the main reason I don't use PlayStation now is because almost all the games I want to play you can't download, and I hate it cutting in and out when I'm trying to do stuff.
oh no!
Like
I
it
tried to
just
play one of the Sly Cooper games, and I couldn't because literally I was skipping around the map, and for like what $20, that's not even close to worth it. And I know it says
no.
you need good internet, but like
I have good
unless you're
internet. Still
wired,
gave me
yeah,
trouble.
you're wired in and it was still bad. So like
Yeah,
I don't know how good internet you have to have. And
yeah.
like they should have assumed that people probably wouldn't have had that great of internet in the first place. They're gonna do that. Because if they're gonna do that, they should have just made it backwards compatible, like Xbox did.
Yeah.
That was my only gripe with PlayStation. If PlayStation had backwards compatibility,
Oh
hands
man.
down, probably even better than the 360.
Oh, for sure. If it
I
would,
mean, yeah.
yeah. If they had backwards compatible for PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, yeah, this would be the best console probably ever made, ever.
But for some reason they didn't do it. I don't. I think they
I,
just wanted to try to make money off the
either,
subscription service, but
yeah, which is
wasn't that good.
stupid because Game Pass blows that out of the water
Yeah,
so
but
bad.
Xbox also had backwards compatibility, but you could just pay to buy the old game back, so they
Yeah,
weren't losing money on it. Because if you didn't
no.
have that game for a scratch, you just bought a new
And
version.
I mean, you just make money on your older games. You can literally make money off something that's just sitting in some say like V Stock or like some GameStops. I think still have older games, not, but like all these places and all these brick and mortar stores that sell these old games, you could help them out tremendously.
Oh yeah,
And
you
you'll
could.
get you would get an older generation of gamers because more people play PlayStation than Xbox. You would have an older generation of gamers that loved games that they played when they were younger. That if they could play them again, they would probably get back into gaming.
Oh yeah, people. I know people. I know I'm one of them. I know you're probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
People would still buy the first Black Ops. People would
Oh
still
yeah,
buy the second Black Ops. And if that many people are playing it, there's still a population, so people can go back and play online with their favorite game. Like
yeah,
it's just become like kind of a money hungry thing where people are like, well, we can't give them this because then we're gonna lose money. And it's like, if you have happy customers, they're gonna give you money anyways. So
exactly.
like, I don't get why it's like, oh well, we can't give them everything because then we lose money. It's like,
And I mean, they're business people, and I don't want to
no, and
degrade
I get it.
anybody for trying to make the most money they can, but there becomes a point in time when
You're
like
you're screwing someone over
you're
almost.
literally screwing people over that make you what you are. They literally have bought and everything, and you can't give just a little bit back. Like
No.
it's not asking a whole lot because the amount of money that we give them and consoles and controllers and subscription services, especially where you have to pay $60 a year just to play online, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. I mean, I get that they want more money, but and I would be fine with paying something like this if, say, like it was backwards compatible. You could like you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. That's what I feel like
Oh
should
yeah.
happen, but they just don't do that. And in my opinion, PlayStation doesn't even give out that good of free games, and they really haven't like ever. And if they ever do, it's a game I already own. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
It really irritates me because the only reason, like, besides obviously being able to play with your friends, that I see PlayStation Plus having any remote use is the discounts and the money that I save from having it on certain games.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's about it.
That's pretty much it. I I mean, something I found out while I just bought a Switch was to like Smash Bros was like $60 on the store. But if I
Hmm.
go to Walmart, I can save $10 by buying it on a little chip.
Hmm.
And so like to me, it's like why would like especially in times of a pandemic, it's like why would you have it more expensive to buy it online rather than going and get the solid copy? Like it would honestly probably cost you more to make the copy, you have to make the case. So
That's
to me, why is it cheaper?
we can get into that as well. That is a very good thing and something I wanted to talk about.
Because like
Uh,
I know storage, like storage is insane. Like the like Modern Warfare is like 170 gigabytes,
yeah.
and usually you can cut down on the space by buying games, which is why I started buying hard copies, and also I
Hmm.
save money. But to me, it just doesn't make sense that a game is worth $60 still if you buy it completely digital. You have nothing in your hands to
Exactly.
show you even bought it. If your system gets ruined, then there's no proof that you even own the game, unless you sign back in, of course. But
Okay. I'm gonna look this up right now. I'm gonna see how much it costs to make, like, to manufacture a game,
okay,
because I've always wanted to like have this debate, because I think it's just completely idiotic that it's the same
oh
price.
yeah, and then they want to raise it now. Like
Yeah.
on the PS5, they're up. Some games are up to $70. It's like why are we raising the price? We already bought like a $400, 500 some to some people $1,000 console, and now we have to pay $70 for a game. Like really?
Yeah, and you're not gonna see me paying $70 for hardly anything. I already wait for games to come on sale about as often as it is. I mean, it's gonna have to be something I want so bad for me to spend. And I
Oh
know it's
yeah.
only $10 more, but that $10 adds up real quick. It adds up
That
real quick,
but as
especially for someone like me
consumers,
that works a part-time job. Yeah, it adds up
yeah,
quick.
as consumers, we could literally say we're not buying that because it's too much money.
Mhm.
And if no one bought the new 2K game, they would lower the price. And if they said, "Oh, we're not going to buy the new Call of Duty because it's the same thing," that would force Call of Duty to make a brand new game. So, like it, as consumers, we hold more power than we are. Like a lot of people just buy it because they're like, "Oh, it's whatever." It's like I want to play a new Call of Duty. But like, if you don't like it, why buy it? Like, unless you're gonna buy it when it's like $20, then I'm like, whatever. But like, I don't like the new Maddens, so I will not buy a new Madden unless it's like 4 years down the road because the rosters changed so much.
Yeah.
I refuse to do it because it's just
No.
not fun to me to invest
I
that much money and play it.
got on Madden because they had the Zero Chill promo come out, and I always play it. I always spend money. I spent $20, and it is the I am officially done with Madden until they start doing a little more for their player base, because the microtransaction stuff that I saw going on with that promo is outrageous. I mean,
Is
you
it?
can it is. It is 10,000 snow is what the currency is called, like for Christmas. It
Yeah.
was 10,000 to roll for a present. And the presents are why I like it so much, because you just get to open it on Christmas. It's something that could be like a player or like a pack or something. You don't know. But it was 10,000 snow. And if you spend $20, you only get 5,000 snow,
So it's $40 for pretty much one present.
basically.
That
And
no.
most of the time, you'll get a small present, which gives you 900 back, or you'll get a medium, which gives you 5,000 back out of the 10,000. And I got one large present out of probably like 8 rolls I probably did, with because you could use training too, which is completely different. But I know people that don't play sports games or Madden aren't going to want to hear a whole lot more of this. But I am done playing that game until they start going back on some of the micro. It is insane.
Oh
2K
no, yeah.
and Madden. No, I'm done. I will no longer be purchasing those games unless they're, one, very cheap on sale, or two, they go back to more no money spent friendly. Like, I understand you got to make your money by all
Oh yeah.
means, but you can't just keep expecting people to pay 50 and 100, even some case thousands of dollars every promo. And I get it, if you got the money, like, why not spend it? But
I mean, it's
that's
almost
why they
price
keep
gouging.
doing it, because they keep making all that money is why they keep doing it. So like you said, we should come together and boycott this practice. We've been saying it for years and nothing's been done. Nobody does anything. Everybody just, oh, it's not going to change. I'll just let it happen. That's like the, not to get too political, but that's why a third party candidate never wins an election, because they just blow them off. Oh, they're not going to win, so I'm not going to vote for them. It's like if you really wanted it to happen, you could make it happen, but you have to do it. You can't just
Oh yeah,
look the other way.
no, as exactly. I don't buy 2Ks anymore unless they're free or unless like at the end of the year before the new one comes out. Usually the 2K goes down like $10.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't buy a new 2K until they fix the career mode to where I could actually like the way FIFA does it. FIFA, like, you, granted there's no online mode with your career character, but you gain skill as you play. So if you want to get better at shooting, you have to take more shots. You don't just pay $20 to level your guy up to be the best. So in 2K, I feel like you should be able to purchase some attributes if you want, but I feel like you should have to actually shoot and pass to get better at those things. Because on day one, if you get matched up against a 99, it's like, what's the fun in that? It's like, if I'm poor, I can't afford to get a 99 level dude. I have to actually grind the game. So it takes the fun out. When I match up against someone 99, I'm like level 68. It's like, what fun is that? Because you can't shoot on them, you can't dunk on them, you can't even catch up to them.
And I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but to go back to the skill based matchmaking. So, like in Call of Duty, they can have skill based matchmaking, but in a sports game, they have it, but it's just not even good at all. Because, like you said, you'll just have your team get matched up with some Nimrod that has team credit card.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I haven't played MLB much this year. I've gone back to MLB. Sometimes I have like 4 diamonds on my team. I'll get matched up with someone who has a whole team of MVP cards or like
yeah,
throwback cards, signature. It's like, dude, it's like I've played like 20 games. It's like, why am I playing someone who's played 300?
yeah, yeah. There's not as many
But
people that play MLB, which is probably why that happens so
well,
much in
yeah.
that game. But also, to pat MLB on the back, they have it to where you can get a good team without spending money. I've spent
Oh
my
yeah,
fair
no.
share of money for sure, but every team that I use on my card now, besides one, I have not spent money to get.
Oh yeah, no. That's why I think MLB is superior, and I think that that's the staple of, if you're gonna make a new Ultimate Team every year, it should be like that, where you don't have
Yes.
to pay to get good cards. You can pay to get super good cards, but you can still compete by not paying money. You just have to play the game.
Yeah, people, and the thing, like the pack luck. If pack luck is good, I've never understood this. People would keep buying packs. People would keep spending money. I don't know why you would have the pack odds be so bad as to where you want people to keep spending money if they're not getting anything. For me, as a player of sports games, if I keep getting good cards, I'm going to keep buying packs. I'm going to keep buying the money. I don't understand why they don't understand that. They just think that somebody's going to, oh, I got one good card and I'm done. No, you want to keep pulling those cards.
Oh yeah.
So
A lot of people like me, I'll sell the card if I don't like it, and I'll go buy more packs just at a chance of getting another good player in a different position.
mm-hmm.
So like, I don't like you said, I don't get why they try to screw over the little man almost.
I think
It,
card trading should be in all the sports games too. I know it's
oh, absolutely.
in Madden, but I don't know why it's not in all the others. If you have a friend that spends a lot of money or something, if they want to give you a card, I don't see why they shouldn't be able to do that. If you have somebody that busted their chops to grind for something or do something, and they want to give somebody a card, why can't that be a part of the game? I've never understood that.
Yeah, I don't get it either, and it may be coming up. Some games, like, I mean, not to bash 2K really, but 2K I think's the greediest one, because they make their, like, you, I know you and me agree on this, their packs are the most fun to open, but they're also the most expensive. And they're, well, I don't know if they're most expensive, but they're the hardest to get stuff out of, I think.
Pretty close. I mean, it just depends on what's in the pack, but
well, yeah, I
it's
mean,
the
like
most.
seasonal event stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's the
had to delete
hardest.
the game because I just spend so much money. It's like I can't even control it. I don't even have an addiction, but it's just, it becomes to where it's almost an addiction, and then you have to
Yeah.
just shut it off, or else you're gonna. Because I've spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on, not on this 2K, but like on ones in the past. I made it a thing to where I wasn't gonna spend any money on 2K, but I did. I spent $20, but that's all I spent, and then the game was gone. So
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, no, I can't do it. And then why I say 2K is the worst out of all of them, they had this thing in the beginning. It was called a season or something like that. and it's like a battle pass kind of for playing with XP, and you get like a good card at the end. You got a pink diamond Steph Curry, and you do like challenges and stuff to get XP. It's like an MLB level reward path, but it's only like for a month or so, and you have that long to get like the cards and stuff. I watched a YouTuber play that and get the Steph Curry, and it wasn't that bad. So then I buy the game because it looks really fun, and it looks like, hey, they're actually doing something, that's pretty cool. Like this, I might actually try this. I buy the game, and what do? The next season comes out, and they make it probably twice, if not 3 times as hard to get the next card. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this damn company. Like, I deleted the game.
Oh, 2K is making a football game, so now Madden and 2K are actually going to have to compete against each other.
So worried.
I don't know which one's going to be better, because I think it's just going to come down to whoever has the cheapest microtransaction.
God forbid they have packs on that, which they will. But my God, I probably won't get it because of the amount of money that I'll spend. If 2K made a baseball game, God help me, I would be broke.
If they brought it back.
And they had like a ultimate team in that, God help everybody.
My team.
I don't even want to know what would happen, how much money would be spent.
And how much rage would be induced because of it.
Very true. Well, that was pretty fun. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No. If you guys enjoy this, if you enjoy the battles, I mean, we'll keep doing them. We'll do them every Friday. They'll be fun.
Yeah.
Especially when Drayton and Tevis join us back.
Yeah.
I think it'll be even more fun to do that.
Yeah, if you guys like it, we could do like 5 or so battles every Friday, or we could do a full battle episode. It just depends on what you guys want to see, whoever's watching this. So just let us know. The best way you can contact us. We have a social media platform on every social media app besides Snapchat. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have TikTok. So if you guys want to just shoot us a message and let us know what you think about that, or go to YouTube and comment on it on YouTube, that'd probably be the easiest way to do it. But,
yeah.
All right. I mean, it's up to you.
Someone will reply to you.
Yes. All right. So I want to thank everyone that watched or listened to this podcast. It's been a pretty fun episode. I know we didn't get into anything too crazy, but that's my bad because I usually am really prepared and I usually go over everything for a decent amount of time. Like I have a plan of what I'm wanting to do this week. So it'll be better for the next episode we record. I've just had a lot of stuff going on, work, finals, but all that stuff's winding down. So I'm not going to have to worry about it before too long. But yeah, thank you guys, like I said, for listening and watching. And we'll see you on Monday with the next episode.
All righty, guys. See you.
Peace out.